everybody, how's it going? So today I'm hanging out with Mr. Adam Steele from the channel Hot Pulse Studios, and Adam has the brand new Ultimate Reaper course available. And I'm a big Reaper user here on the show, obviously, and I just thought it'd be cool to bring Adam on the show and talk a little bit about his course. So what's it all about, Adam? What's the deal?
It's about Reaper, funnily enough. Hi, Glenn. So it's a massive course that goes right from the very beginnings of someone who's never used Reaper before, walks through all the installation setup, and at every point I try and throw in every cool trick and every cool tip that's relevant at that point. Then we go through setting up, getting sound coming through your monitors, through your headphones, making sure monitoring's set up, then going all the way through recording guitars, drums, vocals, then doing some electronic stuff with MIDI. Then we get into the really clever stuff all the way through from the plugins through to like side chaining and parallel compression and all that kind of clever stuff, including parallel compression on plugins that aren't supposed to have it.
That's true because, yeah, Reaper has a wonderful little plugin blend knob that a lot of other DAWs don't have, so that's pretty cool. And, I mean, like, I've been using Reaper for the last who knows how many years now, probably 5 or 6 anyway, and I'm still stumbling across new features I never knew it actually had. So this is probably not only a lesson just for the noobs, but also for guys who've been at it for a while, I would imagine.
Yeah, I mean, even in the last few days, these videos that I've been doing, I did a video like this with Warren Hewitt. I'm talking to you. I'm talking about things that to me are everyday things because I've been using them for well over 10 years. I've been using Reaper for a long time. And to me, it's just like, oh, you just do this and you do this. And people are like, oh, I've learned all these new things. It's great. And I'm like, amazing. That's brilliant. Imagine what you'd pick up if I talked to you for about 9 straight hours.
There we go. Yeah, and this is the thing. I mean, like, I've got a copy of this lesson. I've kind of scanned through it a little bit, and it's like, yeah, I got to put some time aside and go through it because I'm sure I'm going to learn more than just a couple things.
It is funny. A lot of the time when I'm mixing, I use a lot of external plugins like the Slate Digital stuff and, you know, Ozone, all the usual suspects. Recently, I went back and did a mix for a mix competition just for fun, using nothing but the inbuilt plugins from Reaper, and it arguably sounded as good because I dug deep into the knowledge and went, well, this was the plugin I would use. Why would I do that? What plugins do I have? Okay, so there we go. Like getting one of those, like, you know, dark glass bass sounds, that real crunchy thing. Mm-hmm. I got 2 tracks of the same bass, and one of them I filtered all the low end out, used a distortion plugin to really kill it, then used another EQ to then sculpt the distortion sound, mix that in with a different, you know, cleaner bass tone, and boom. No external plugins.
Sure.
That kind of thing. If you want to use external plugins, like say you want to use the neural, you know, dark glass stuff, you absolutely can. But if you want to really dig in and do it without spending the money, which for a lot of people is a big factor, it's all in there.
Sure, absolutely. And that's the great thing is once you figure that out, you can make templates. And that's something I use all the time. Now, here's something. Now, Reaper uses a folder system, and that's something I use quite a bit. But I notice a lot of other DAWs use like buses. Can we do buses as well in Reaper?
You absolutely can. And when I started using Reaper, I was doing things in the bus kind of style. But the way that Reaper works, it's like when people say, oh, how do you do something in Photoshop is a good example. And then you get 10 people telling you different ways of doing it, and they're all right.
Yeah.
It's the same thing in Reaper. There are 10 ways to do anything. And when I started with Reaper, I wanted it to work very much like an analog mixing desk. You know, like one of these crazy 96 channel mixing desks in the $1 million studios where there's a Burger King in the middle because it's so big. And the way that they tend to work is, apart from maybe the kind of the groups that you might get in the center of a big console, a track is a track. That's it. Mm-hmm. So if I want to send 10 or 12 drum tracks to this track, that works. If I then want to send some of this track to that track, that works. So if you want to send all your drums to a bus, you just send them all to a track and then just call it drum bus, and that's done.
Sure.
I'm a big lover of the folder system, though. The folder system saves me so much time. And I tried using it in Cubase way back in the day, and it kind of worked. And then I did it in Reaper, and I was like, sold. Because I put, say, all my drum tracks and then make a new track and budge everything up, it becomes a folder. The music comes out of that folder, and then I can put plugins on that, and it's as if it's being sent through a bus.
Exactly. I mean, like, I use the folder system all the time, and it's drag and drop. It's just a super quick way of doing things.
Yeah. If you look at some of my mixes, actually, I'll just change my screen here. You should be able to see my screen now.
Yep.
So this is a guitar group, this blue thing. In there is an indent. In this folder is the rhythm guitars. In that folder is the left and the right heavy rhythm guitars, which have got some very clever side chaining for a gate, which is great. And once it's set up, I don't want to think about that anymore. So I just do the mixing and do the general EQ on that guitar on that folder.
Right.
And then if I go up, I can then mix gentle things that you would do on a whole guitar group on that guitar group. So it's a folder and a folder and a folder, but that's not how I'm thinking about it. I mean, why would you use an EQ on the left guitar and an EQ on the right guitar when you know they're the same damn guitar, just hard panned? Why not do it once on a folder?
Sure.
So that's kind of the way that I like to think about it. It saves me a lot of brain power.
And you explained how to set all this up in the lesson.
Absolutely. So it's step by step by step, and then at each point I said, well, if you want to do it this way, this is why I would do it this way, which is important because explaining why I'm doing things is to me so important, because saying, well, you can click this button for this, you can click this button for that, is great because it shows you where everything is. But a lot of people are going to then say, well, okay, but why would I do that? Otherwise, they'll just forget about it and move on, and then a year later go, oh, I'd forgotten that was there. That could have saved me a lot of work. You know, things like virtual drums. I know you're not a big fan of that kind of thing, but sometimes it's what I get sent as a mix.
Sure.
And making sure that that's split out into, you know, kick, snare, toms, all that kind of stuff can take half an hour to properly get it all set up, or it can take you 20 seconds if you know where the button is.
Well, there you go. That's super cool. Now, this is the thing. In this lesson, you take us through the whole process. We get tracks to work with, and you kind of guide the viewer through your project, through your workflow, and explain, hey, this is how to do it at every point, every step along the way, right?
Yes, absolutely. And the way that I'm doing it is it's not as if I've got some, like, here's some Hollywood session musicians, here's something I prepared earlier. The way that I've done the course, everything that's recorded and that's given to you as the multi-tracks is me recording as I go. So any tracks that you get with the routing, with the plugins, with the setup is something you can see me doing. So everything that is there that's, you know, so this gate does this EQ does this. As you're watching me do it, you can pull up the project and look at it and do it along with me. So you know exactly why I've done things, and you can hear those differences.
Oh, fantastic. Great. So the entire course, how long is it? And how many parts?
It's about 8.5, 9 hours. It's 73 parts plus 7 bonus parts right now.
Wow.
And I say right now because we're going to keep adding to it as new things are coming out in Reaper, because I was writing this course and starting to film literally the week before Reaper 6 was released to the public. New features are being added in every week, every month, because that's how the guys at Reaper tend to work. I
was going to say, I just upgraded to version 6, and the new graphic interface is amazing, and the ability to tweak the interface is really super killer.
Yeah. The interface tweaking is amazing, but I'm going to show your viewers actually one quick amazing thing that is so obvious to me now. And that wasn't there when Reaper 6 was released, but Reaper 6.10, this is a thing. If I go to File and Render, you know you want to render your tracks.
Sure.
A lot of the time, a band that I'm working with, they might want to be sent an MP3 of something just to listen to, but I want a WAV file because I need the quality because that's being sent to mastering, right?
Right.
Traditionally, that's 2 full renders. That's a real pain in the ass.
I like where this is going.
So there's a little tab now, primary and secondary output
format. Come
These,
on.
Yeah, this is new, but it's, so there's format WAV, and then in secondary I can put another format of anything I like MP3. And it'll make me both files at the same time in a single render. Just the one.
Okay, that's super fucking cool, man. Wow.
And it's so obvious to me. It's like, why wasn't that there before? But it's there now.
Damn.
And as people ask the Reaper guys who develop it for more of these clever little features, they get added. They go in, it gets better and better as they go.
Fantastic. Well, all right there, Adam. Thank you so much for being on the show. Thanks for taking us through that. If you guys want to grow your Reaper skills and get better at it, I know I want to take a look at this lesson and see what else he's uncovered, because even though I've been using Reaper for the last 5-6 years, I still feel like I've just kind of barely scratched the surface as to its capabilities. So if you guys want to check it out, I would highly recommend grabbing the Ultimate Reaper course. It's only $97, but it's only going to be on sale till end of day Friday. So if you want to grab it now, because once it's gone, that is it. All right, everybody, that's Adam Steele from the YouTube channel Hot Pool Studios. Make sure you check him out when you get a minute. In the meantime, follow the link in the description below and get the Ultimate Reaper course for only $97. Get it today before it's gone. See you later.